coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And off we go from Cleveland. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native. At quarterback, it's Baker Mayfield.
Check 26, check 26. Hey, alert, 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 alert.
First carry for Nick Chubb. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
You must be getting
Mayfield now. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A gain of 3, 2nd down. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
Versatile players on defense are all the rage in the NFL, but it also helps to have a Benardrick McKinney who does one thing very, very well, and that's tackle ball carriers. Big man, big size inside, looks like a defensive end playing inside linebacker. Still has the ability to run and cut runners off before they can get downfield. They went with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the 2nd time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the front.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 26. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Fielded at the 43. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Sponge! No! Watch the ship! Hey! Real. Watch the ship!
They go play action. Mayfield. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 13. Now a former Buckeye back home. It's Carlos Hyde. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 3rd and long. It's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 75 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. A run for Nick Chubb. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Throwing, Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On first down, Chubb able to get forward for about 4 as he's taken down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 35.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket waiting for him to clear going across.
And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A first down throw from Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
This is the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 13-yard line. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually...
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Browns have taken the lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Being chased out left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back over the... Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
Chubb with a carry on first down. It's not going to yield much, maybe a yard. It's second down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, 35 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Out of the gun, Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Following the interception, Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Mayfield looks to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
Let's go, baby. Pick 6 all day. Don't throw my son. This is it. 19. Check 53. I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
After the interception, here's Watson. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have, and now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now on 2nd and 13. Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are back within a single score. Bill O'Brien with a call here. We'll go for 2.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Delay of game, offense.
This certainly feels like they were wanting to go for 2, but weren't really sure they should go for 2. Do we, don't we, do we, don't we? And guess what ends up happening?
5-yard penalty.
That's right. Now you probably line up and kick the extra point.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that? And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A good run there to start the drive. 13 yards, first down. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on second down. On the carry, it's Chubb. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys...
And look at this, it's a fake, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Texans take over an excellent field position.
What's that? 19! Mike. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Line him up.
On first down, it's Watson. And a catch made by Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 45 yards. And the Texans have retaken the lead.
And that third counter there gives them the lead, and it's obvious they've needed everything that he's given them today. Three touchdowns, that's impressive, but without them, they're not winning this game.
And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're looking to turn things around here. They've been shut down in this third quarter, and that was after a good first half offensively.
And you wonder where it all goes, and it feels like it goes away fast because it takes some time to build up good momentum, great play calling, excellent execution, and then like a blink of an eye, you're losing the game. How do you get back there again? I'm sure they've talked about it, and they've got a plan. Now can they put it into practice?
The lead gone, now the search to find it again. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now it's Hunt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 14. Back now here in Cleveland. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns have retaken the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with this 4-point fourth-quarter lead.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Watson. He's got the hook up to Miller. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. It's a gain of 5. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw, Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Olivier Vernon picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on second down. Here's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. Escapes the defender. And some space here. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 76 yards, as his guys are able to regain the lead. So minutes after giving up the lead in the fourth quarter, they say not so fast. Big play, and they grab that lead right back.
Talk about a seesaw game. Up, down, up, down. Did you have a seesaw? Did you play that when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. Out on the playground, absolutely.
You had to make sure that you matched weight, though, on the other side, though, right? Otherwise, you could be up in the air a long time.
By the way, we're not done in this one. I think we're set up for an exciting finish. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see it back. Just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. Second and 5 now. Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Mayfield to throw it. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 23 yards, the final tally.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On first down, they run with Chubb. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. And again, it's Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Austin Seibert for the Browns field goal. A 19-yard attempt.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. Seibert able to knock this one through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Four quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this?
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Austin Seibert to kick off for Cleveland.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, That gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. First throw in OT for Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Now it's Miller. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
Powering his way forward. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Watson now to throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Olivier Vernon getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And that's how this one ends in dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. Trying to get it to Landry there. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.